West Ham won, Tottenham won. Tottenham agonizingly settled for a draw in this match week 31 Tuesday evening matchup at the London Stadium. Welcome into Top of the Perch. I am your host, as always, Nick Burt. It's been a minute since Top of the Perch has been filmed. I don't know what's happened to Tottenham these past few weeks. It is just, I'm not going to say the wheels have fallen off, but it doesn't look as good as it has this year. I can tell you that. We have a mostly healthy team, and we're still producing agonizingly annoying results. We last filmed for the 4-0 victory against Aston Villa at Villa Park. After that was a 3-0 loss to Fulham on the road at Craven Cottage. And then there was one on Saturday where they beat Luton 2-1 at home, but they still looked awful. For 85 minutes of the game, they've looked awful. So here we go into today. It was going to be a crucial match because we are very much in the crunch time part of the season. And listen, points they keep getting less and less. We're match week 31 of 38. So again, the opportunities to get into, Champions League spots, every game, there's one game less each game. And, every game from now to the end of the season, it feels like it's going to be crucial. After this game ended with the 1-1 draw, Tottenham sitting 5th on 57 points, 30 games played. Aston Villa, 30 games played, sitting 4th with 59. So, and let me tell you, it does not get easier for Tottenham coming down this road. So, we're probably going to look back on that Fulham game and say, what were we doing? And that might cost us spots. Who knows? Let's get into this one because it was something. I don't know. We start, pretty well. West Ham put on the pressure in the first few minutes, mainly. I think it was right around the beginning of the 4th minute. I believe it was Jared Bowen had an opportunity on net, just kicked it, not even close to close. It went way wide. The West Ham was pressuring that back line, creating some turnovers. Honestly, West Ham just didn't look like they could finish a lot today. But it was no more than a minute later. We get Tottenham on the counterattack. It ends up Timo Werner gets the ball, gets it to Brendan Johnson, who's right in front of the net, taps it in. It is 1-0 Tottenham after 5 minutes. This was purely straight out of the playbook of early on this season, where Tottenham were just flying, scoring outstanding goals, and just looking like an absolutely amazing team. David Moyes just looked absolutely baffled on the touchline. He was just, what just happened? And it felt like this was going to be a game after that goal. It's like, okay, Tottenham going to control this. It's not going to be an easy 3 points because, it's never easy. But felt like it could be controlled. We get to the 10th minute. Pedro Porro has a shot from outside the box. It's close-ish, but ends up not in the net. It has to be saved. Tottenham continually on the attack in this first 15, it felt like. I know Son had an opportunity from right inside the box, shoots it. It's easy save for Fabianski. We move on, 19th minute, Bowen corner. It's headed in by Zuma. It's 1-1. Vicario was on the completely opposite side of where that goal was going and where that shot was going. And it was one of those moments where it's one of those moments, once again, where a set piece just kills Tottenham because why not? It seems like they're just absolutely just awful at defending set pieces, whether it be a corner or a free kick. It feels like half the goals that Tottenham concede are on those type of shots. And it's so annoying because these should be the ones you are easily saving. You have time to set up, and yet, Zuma heads it right into the back of the net. There is not anybody even close to trying to clear this thing off the line. Absolutely just baffling. It seems like this team doesn't learn at all, which is quite annoying that this team they decide not to show up during, free kicks, corners. The defending just leaves the mind. It's been a struggle for this team all year, and I don't get why it hasn't truly been addressed. You'd think like at some point you'd be like, hey, let's change some things. Let's change some tactics here so we don't, concede a goal every time there's a free kick. But, we don't. Vicario made a huge save in like the 37th minute, I think, kept this game at 1-1. We go into halftime, it's 1-1. It felt so lackluster. You start off that great first 10, 15 minutes. You get the one goal in there. You have 2 or 3 other opportunities that it felt like, okay, this is getting in the back of the net, but it doesn't. But you still have hope, obviously. And then we just come out for the second half, and it's so dead. West Ham had a few opportunities that forced Vicario into major saves once again. He did have a good performance today. I got to give him that. He faced some tough tests. Obviously the corner, not great, but all the other tests he faced, they were some pretty fantastic saves. Biggest story, honestly, coming out of this second half is this team doesn't have a killer instinct in goal or shooting on goal. There were so many passes today, unnecessary passes. When you have a shot and you just decide to pass it, I don't know why. There were so many today, and I'm just like, why are we passing in this situation? Somebody take a shot on net. We don't have that just absolutely confident, I'm going to put this in the back of the net goal scorer that we can pass to that's going to put this in the back of the net. Kulusevski just seems to give up the ball always. I know he got subbed on and didn't start. Timo Werner, I still don't know if he fully has confidence in himself that he's going to score. Brendan Johnson, I know he's scored a lot in these past few games. He still loves passing it for some reason. I do not get it. This team is addicted to passing and not addicted to putting balls in the net. Take a shot at least. Just try to get past the keeper. Stop passing around and letting a defender just trying to find a way to get into the box. There's too many passes. I know we talk about the pass stat every game and comparing it to last year and all that, but somebody's got to take a shot. We can't keep passing it around looking for a 100% opportunity. Just take shots, please. I really don't have much else coming out of this second half. Like I said, Vicario made some huge saves. But really, other than that, it was nothing really. This game ends 1-1 after 90. Feels like a big 3 points missed out on. We haven't won at London Stadium since November of 2019 in Jose Mourinho's first game as manager. Yeah, that's something. So that streak lives on. It's a draw 1-1. whatever. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. This feels like this is going to be something we look back on match week 38 when we're sitting in fifth, a point behind Villa or 2 points behind Villa. And it's going to be like, if we would have won that game, we'd be in fourth. But yeah, here we are. Let's take a look at the stats. They're something. They are something. I got to give them that. Possession, Tottenham 68% of it today. Yeah, you can have as much possession as you want, but if you're not going to take shots and put it in the net, it doesn't matter. I know it says that they have more shots. They have 13 compared to West Ham's 11, which, again, I conclude that is true. They both had 4 shots on target. How Tottenham aren't getting more shots on target with more than half of that possession, I don't know. It baffles me. I'm lost at it. Shots in the box, Tottenham had 10 compared to the 7 from West Ham. 3 outside the box for Tottenham, 1 including that Pedro Porro shot that should have been probably a goal if he just targeted it a little bit better within those first 10 minutes. But again, that didn't happen. Expected goals, this is the part that kills me right now. West Ham had 1.16 expected goals for today. Tottenham had 0.96. They had 32% possession. They had 4 shots on target. You had 68 and 4 shots on target. Yet you end up with a lower expected goals rate than West Ham. I'm sorry. That's awful. That is absolutely awful. Because then you go to 2 stats below. 301 passes today for West Ham. 654 for Tottenham. 89% of them accurate for Tottenham. 78% for West Ham. It is just absolutely baffling, these numbers, and how Tottenham did not have more opportunities in this game. It should be beyond me. Fouls in this game, West Ham had the more fouls, but Tottenham had the more yellow cards. And West Ham had 9 corners in this game compared to Tottenham's 5. So, as always, it is time to get into the player ratings. And boy, is this... It is something in this midfield because it is not great. We start up at the top, as we always do, is Heung-min's son in that top striker position. He earns a 6.6 because he truly didn't do a ton today. And yeah, it just wasn't great. I got to be honest. It was not great. I was hoping for a better performance today, especially from the captain, trying to get us 3 points today, just not there. Earns a 6.6. Timo Werner earns a 7.5. He had the assist on the Brendan Johnson goal, which was a very good assist. I was very happy with that. But other than that, it was just, not great, but I don't know what to think of him. That's the thing for me. I do not know what to think of him. And I don't know if you even can. Because the thing is, he's good if he's like on his game. And that price tag of 16 million pounds, I think, is the buy clause. Looks like an absolute steal. But there's no guarantee that he's going to be that good. Ever, because he's so inconsistent. So he earns a 7.5. Brendan Johnson earns a 7.8. He had the goal on the game. He earns the man of the match. It was a highly big debate between him winning it and Vicario winning it. They both end up with the same scores, obviously. You can see that. I just gave it to Johnson because he had the goal. This midfield, my oh my. Like, we were praying for this midfield in, like, August and September. And it just... yeah, it was just, I don't even know the words to put for it because it was not good. Madison earns a 6.6. He just, it was just a bad performance from him today. Bentancur and Bissouma, I do not think can be on the same field at the same time, honestly. I don't think that they play well together. I think both of them being on there at the same time actually hurts both of their playing styles. So they both earn 6.9s. I don't know what you do in this situation because I think both players on their own are very good. But putting them together, it just doesn't work out. And another big thing is Bissouma. He's kind of been off his game since he's come back from the African Cup of Nations. That's a little bit worrying to me because we do need like players at the top of the game, especially right now. You know, in the run-in, kind of feel like you need to be good at what you're doing, and that's not what we're getting right now. Let me say something. These wingers today, they were kind of the saving grace of this back line because Van de Ven and Romero, they had good performances, but they had some moments that were just, not good. So I split it down here. I gave our wingers, Udogie and Poro, 7.7s. I thought they had decent games. Not outstanding, but not awful. They had some good playmaking opportunities in there. The inverted, of course, wing backs, they play a little bit more in the midfield, so they kind of compensated for what the others weren't doing. But then Van de Ven and Romero, they kind of got caught out at some points today, so I gave them both the 7.4. It's just, I know that this was just an off day for them because we've seen how good they are. It's just, it's annoying sometimes, especially in games like this where, like, you should win. Like, where was this back line on the corner kick? Who knows? I don't know. And then Vicario, like I said, he earns a 7.8. He probably should have been the man of the match, at least on the Tottenham side of things. I mean, he had some really crucial saves to keep this game 1-1. He's the reason we got a point in this game. So earns a 7.8. I thought he had a decent performance. I don't think there was much he could do on that corner. So I don't fully put that on him. Kulusevski, he got subbed on in the 70th minute. We had a double change in the 70th minute. It was Madison and Bentancur coming off for Kulusevski and Sarr. Kulusevski earns a 6.1. I don't know what he was doing out there because kind of like Son, he just was out there going through motions and I didn't really see him do much. Sarr earns a 6.5. He had a short stint out there, but he was probably the best of any of the midfielders today. And that might even be him carrying an injury. Who knows? And then Richarlison got subbed on in the 82nd. So did Højbjerg. And then Lo Celso got subbed on in the 90th. Obviously, none of those weren't ratings just because of the time that they played. Postecoglou, he earns a 6. It just... I feel like at some point, if Sarr's carrying an injury, I get it. But, at some point, this Madison, Bentancur, Bissouma matchup just isn't going to work, and you just got to drop it. I don't know. I think you're making subs too late, especially bringing on 3 players after the 80th minute. That just not great. Now, I know West Ham had 0 subs used today, which is just beyond me, but whatever. Postecoglou, he earns a 6. Could have been a better performance today from him, I think. So, given that wraps this up. I don't know much else to say. It was what it was. That's honestly, it was what it was. At least they walked away with a point instead of 0 points and loss. So yeah, Tottenham return home on Sunday. They face off against Nottingham Forest. That should be a game that they win, but knowing them, they'll make it a battle and come out with a point for some reason. So I promise you, we will be back to recap that one. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Top of the Perch, the Tottenham Hotspur show on the Snickbird Sports Network. If you just stumbled across this video, click like, click subscribe, tell anybody you know about it. We'll be back to recap all the action from Sunday's match against Nottingham Forest here. So make sure you tune in for that. So that is going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you again soon for another episode of Top of the Perch.